All right, so I have been rocking iOS 26 on my iPhone 16 Pro Max for the last couple of days. And I just wanted to go through and show you guys what it looked like, what my favorite features are, and to let you know if I'm enjoying this or not. So iOS 26 comes with all of this new glassy UI. And so far, I guess I'm a fan. It looks different than what everybody expected. Everybody thought it was going to be these new rounded icons. And we didn't really get that. We got something else, something glassy, something good looking here. And as you guys see, first thing is these new transparency icons. Now, the cool thing about these icons is that you can actually change and go back to the original looking icons-ish by clicking here for default. And that's kind of what the default looks like. And then if you go back to customize, you also still have the dark icons, which is personally my favorite. This is what I rocked for a very long time. Now, obviously, this is developer beta 1, so it's not going to be the best performing beta. That is definitely for sure. But let's go ahead and jump back here to customize and go back to clear. And that is what the clear icons look like. And the cool thing about this is you have light and dark clear icons, which is super cool as you see here. And one thing I also noticed, guys, is that the animations have been adjusted. So as you guys see here with this customization menu animation, very cool looking. And I also have noticed that around the entire UI. So for example, here on Safari, you have the new design as well. But you can also notice that the animations have been adjusted just a little bit here. And the Safari also looks different. We'll go ahead and lock our lock screen here. And this is my lock screen currently, and this is what my always on display looks like. So if I double tap, there we go, we have our new lock screen. Now, if you jump in here and choose edit or choose customize, you will notice right away that the clock is now adjustable in terms of height. So I really love this feature. I love large clocked lock screens and always on displays. That is absolutely beautiful to me. And you can also change the color of the glassiness. So as you see here, there are a bunch of different colors, a bunch of different tints to go with the colors. I like that a lot. And you can also adjust the thickness as well, which is really cool. Now, one thing I noticed is that all of the other original clock styles are there, but you cannot adjust the height like you can on this first clock, which kind of sucks. There's also another feature here. If you click this little icon, it turns on the spatial scene, which just gives your lock screen a little bit of life. I like that look with this particular wallpaper. And you can also add widgets to the bottom of your lock screen now as well. So we'll just choose some random widgets here, and you'll see exactly what that looks like. So as you see, it's not perfect, but it is doable. So we'll jump back in, and the spatial wallpaper is not included in the home screen, it looks like. This glassy look looks kind of cool here. And they have extended the UI elements to the majority of the Apple apps. So one thing I noticed right away was this new bottom submenu on the majority of the Apple apps. And you can actually drag your finger here and get a really cool animation at the bottom of the screen. I love the way that looks. Very cool, very unique. And if you swipe, as you see here, the colors kind of blend and glass underneath the UI element. So I think that that's really cool as well. And it kind of changes colors based on what you're looking at. So I do like that look. So we'll talk about the performance really fast. The performance is not the best because it is a developer beta 1 for an entire new UI redo, essentially. So you will expect bad performance and bad battery life whenever you install this. I would personally recommend you guys just wait a little bit to install this so that way you're not going to ruin your phone. My phone has definitely been heating up quite a bit lately, and I am not a fan of that. The Notes app looks different. Like I said, the App Store looks different. Your contacts now look different. So you have your favorites at the top, and you have this new menu system down here for contacts and keypad. Very cool. And while we are inside of the phone, Apple has actually released Hold for Me and call screening, which is sick. And I find it very weird that those features were actually turned off in the settings from inception. You actually have to jump into phone and then turn on screen incoming calls. I thought that was kind of weird. That wasn't set as default, but you now have the ability to screen incoming calls. I tested it myself and I could not get it to work, unfortunately, but it is an option now on iOS, which is awesome. That is one of the best Pixel features that have been around for the last couple of years. Now guys, they also gave the ability to change backgrounds inside of your iMessage messages. So for example, my buddy here, I can actually go in and choose a different background for him in my text messages, which I think is really cool. So let's just say I like that look. I can confirm it, jump back, and all of our text messages now have this particular background, which is awesome. And there were other adjustments inside of the Messages app as well, which is great. Now, if we jump over to the Photos app, the Photos app now is separated. So you have your library and you also have your collections. And of course, you get that cool animation once again. But if you go inside of your collections, this is your collections, which is actually adjustable. So if you click the menu icon and then choose reorder, you have the ability to reorder your collections how you want. Now, this is the setup I personally prefer, but now you have your library inside of here to where you can just swipe up and down like you used to be able to. And then of course you can zoom out and see all of your photos very smallly or very largely, whatever you prefer. So I think that that is really cool. People are going to love that the Photos app is back where they want it to be. So great job there, Apple. There's a couple of other options here, as you can see, but I do feel like the Photos app being readjusted is highly beneficial. There's a lot more features. For example, there is now a Games app, which I have not played around with too much, but as you see, there is now a iOS Games app, which is pretty cool. Looks like a central gaming hub for all things gaming. And then if you jump in and locate Apple Music looks really cool. I love the menu system. I personally right now use YouTube Music, but I love how, of course, you have this new design. You're now playing. Let's see if it lets me play something. Here we go. Apple Radio. You have this new design, and your lock screen should also have a new design as well, which is awesome. You just have a nice new design for all of your Apple Music. And look at these animations here. Really cool, really smooth, very nice, very glassy. So I do like that. This may intrigue me and have me think about going back to Apple Music. I really like the way this looks. If you open up the camera app, you also notice that the camera app was redone. So it is now very minimalistic. You have two buttons here now at the bottom. You have photo and video. And right here, you have your zoom adjustments, which of course still looks the same. But if you click on video, of course, you can get access to video. Up here in the top left, you have your different video and photo styles. So you have it there. And then if you click on photo, you have your different photo styles and adjustments there as well. HEIC versus RAW, your resolution, etc. And in the top right here, you also have additional adjustments as well. Now, I also noticed that you can just swipe up and get those same adjustments. Last but not least, inside of Photos, you now are able to swipe and get access to all of the hidden photo features. So that's kind of cool. So that is the new Photos app. I also noticed that within the apps themselves, you just have more space now. Everything feels like it's more spacious now that you have the menu bar down here at the bottom. And of course, that increases your reachability as well. So for example, if we open up the Maps app, the maps just look huge because of the menu icons being there at the bottom. I really like that look. If we just zoom in on somewhere random, I just feel like I have more space, if that makes sense. And everything just feels very nice and smooth, although, like I said, it's beta 1. In the fall, this is going to feel really good with all of the adjustments with the public release. And then same thing with the weather app. It just looks a little bit different here in the weather app as well. Oh, Control Center. Here's what the new Control Center looks like. Depending on your wallpaper and your home screen icons, it's kind of hard to see the Control Center. So that should definitely be updated to give us more transparency And then of course your notifications here, they look different as well. And it also just feels a little bit more classy. Last but not least, we actually have battery intelligence now. So whenever you go inside of your battery, it gives you more AI-based things. So you can now see how long your phone takes to charge whenever you plug in. You have other AI items like how much battery I'm using on average versus how much I'm using today. It'll say things like, hey, you're using your battery a lot more than you typically do by this time. And there's a lot of other battery usage information as well, which is really cool. And if you scroll down to power mode, you also have a new adaptive power feature. And there's the description right there. But they're essentially saying that whenever you use your iPhone more than you typically are using it at that particular time, there is AI-based adjustments that it will provide to you and your phone so that your phone will last longer. So that's pretty cool. So for example, low power mode automatically turns on at 20% as an example, or that your screen will be lowered brightness whenever you're doing more taxing battery things. So yeah, Apple, they're just doing some things, man. As you see here, the buttons and the settings also look different. Another small thing I noticed. Overall, Apple, they're just doing their thing. They're making the OS look better. They're making it feel better. They're giving the consumer more customization, which I like. I like how each and every adjustment here now has a dark theme to go along with it. I think I just like it, guys. Let me know in the comments what you all think. Let me know if you are going to try out this beta. But overall, let me know how you guys are liking it. I really like this always on display. I really like this lock screen. The design overall itself, I feel like they could have done better on. The glassiness on the home screen isn't my favorite. I do like all of the features built inside of the applications with how the menu bars and things like that look. I do like this new camera UI as well. Yeah, guys, if you like this video, go ahead and shoot me a like. Go ahead and subscribe, and I will catch you all in the next one. Peace.